So I'm doing the MyiMaths exercise. It's called y equals mx plus c. It's also known as equation of a line 1. So what I've done is taken a picture of this first set of questions so that I can annotate it on my tablet here. So the first graph here cuts at -1 on the vertical axis. So we know it's going to be y equals, let's try and pick a better pen here, y equals something x minus 1 on the end. And then the gradient, well, for every 2 across, I can see it's going 1 down. So for every 1 across, it's going a half down. So it's got a gradient of -1/2. So that means it's going to be y equals -1/2 x minus 1. So we need to look for the one that says y equals -1/2 x minus 1. Let me just write that a little bit neater. Y equals -1/2 x minus 1 for the first one. Now, question 2. It cuts the vertical axis at 2, and for every 1 across, it's going up by 3. So the equation is y equals 3x, because the gradient is 3. For every 1 across, it's going up by 3. And then plus 2, because it's cutting at 2. Now the next one, it's cutting at 1. And then, well, for every 2 across, it's going down by 1. So for every 1 across, it's going down by 1/2. So the equation is y equals -1/2 x, because it's going down 1/2 for every 1 across. And then plus 1, because it's cutting at 1. And then the last one, it's cutting at 0. And then for every 1 across, it's going up by 2. So the equation is y equals 2x, because the gradient is 2. For every 1 across, it's going up by 2. And then plus 0, because it's cutting at 0. So that might just as well not be there at all. So y equals 2x. So let's just drag those into place. So we've got y equals -1/2 x minus 1 for the first one. Y equals 2x was the last one. Y equals -1/2 x plus 1 was the third one. And y equals 3x plus 2 was the second one. And there's 8 out of 8. Now let's have a look at question 2. So once again, I'll just paste that into something else on my tablet so that I can annotate it. So once again, we've got to figure out the equation from the graph. So the first one, it cuts at 1, and then it's got a gradient of 2, because for every 1 across, it's going up by 2. So it's y equals 2x plus 1. The second one, it cuts at 2, and then for every 1 across, it's going down by 3. So it's got a gradient of -3. So the equation is y equals -3x plus 2. The third one, it's cutting at 3, and then for every 1 across, it's going down by 3. So it's got a gradient of -3. So the equation is y equals -3x plus 3. And then the last one, it cuts at 4. And then I can see for every 1, 2, 3, 4. Across it's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. So for every 4 across, it's going 5 up. So for every 1 across, it must be going 5/4 up, just dividing everything out by 4. So looking at the equation, it's going, for every 1 across, it's going 5/4 up, so the gradient is 5/4. So it's going to be y equals 5/4x in the equation. And then it cut at 4, so it's going to be plus 4. So we'll just transfer that into MyiMaths. So the first one, gradient of 2, so I'll fill in 2. And then it was cutting at 1, so plus 1. The second one, cutting at 2 and gradient of -3, so y equals -3x plus, did I say cutting at 1? Cutting at 2, I meant cutting at 2. Y equals -3x plus 2. The third one, cutting at 3 and a gradient of -3, so y equals -3x plus 3. And then the last one had a gradient of 5/4. Let's try and get the right thing on this. 5/4, because for every 4 across, it was going 5 up. So for every 1 across, it was going 5/4 up. And then it was cutting at 4 on the vertical axis. So plus 4 plus 4. Let's mark that.